It is May 8th, 1942 in the Coral Sea. Yesterday, USS Lexington and USS Yorktown had quite a productive day, attacking and sinking a Japanese light carrier. The main Japanese strike force, consisting of Shokaku and Zuikaku, is still out there, however. Thankfully, luck was on our side yesterday, as the American aircraft carriers were left untouched thanks to many Japanese mistakes. USS Neosho and USS Sims were not so lucky, however, as they faced the brunt of the Japanese air attacks yesterday. They were mistaken as a carrier group. The Japanese carriers are known to be somewhere to the northeast of Task Force 17's current position. At daybreak, our scouts will be launched and we will try to re-establish contact with the enemy task force. The decisive moment in the Battle of Coral Sea is about to begin. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome to something quite new and quite exciting. This is Task Force Admiral, a game I have been following for quite some time now, and I am very excited to finally show off to you all. As of uploading this, Task Force Admiral actually has a demo available which you yourselves can check out on Steam, so be sure to check that out. There is also a Kickstarter launching with that demo. And the Kickstarter is going to include all sorts of very interesting stretch goals, including controllable ships, anti-aircraft mounts, animated crew, and also expanding the game from its current 1941-42 timeframe into 1943. But with all of that aside, let's get into the game here. We currently find ourselves in command of USS Yorktown and USS Lexington. The Battle of Coral Sea is in full swing. Let's bring up the UI and take a look at what we are working with. It is May 8th, 1942. It is 8 minutes past midnight, and our task force here, Task Force 17, is currently sailing south in the Coral Sea. We've lost contact on the Japanese carriers, Shokaku and Zuikaku. Their estimated position was up here to the northeast. This is an older report, 3 hours old now, but we will see if we can find them in the morning. We can see USS Yorktown over here is indeed our flagship. Propulsion, steering, everything is completely online and looking good. We can see all the ship's vitals here if we click through different buttons. So all of our sensors, there they all are on the bridge. All of our anti-aircraft mounts are laid out like so. We can go to the 3D world. Unfortunately for us right now, it is kind of dark. Historically, there was no moon. The devs did put the moon up tonight so we could see something, but we're gonna have to wait a little while till we can see much. You can see a lot of the aircraft are on the deck. We can go to the Ouija board and we can see we have a bunch of Dauntlesses up here and Devastators in the rear. Wildcats are up forward. We have 3 operational elevators on the Yorktown class carrier. We also are in command of USS Lexington, which unfortunately for her only has 2 elevators. And one issue I have had with the demo is the UI in 4K sometimes acts up there. But we can see Lexington only has 2 operational elevators, and this does slow the tempo of air operations for USS Lexington, so that is something we are going to have to keep in mind. In total, between the 2 carriers, Lady Lex and Yorktown, we have 31 fighters, 65 dive bombers, and 21 torpedo bombers, which we are going to throw at the Japanese carrier task force. Let's go to the fleet board, and this is where we can manage our entire task force. We have all of our ships here in formation. We can give them all names so they all show up, which I do like. We have quite a few heavy cruisers. USS New Orleans here in the lead, right behind USS Russell, and then of course destroyers in that outer ring. We can also set up cap and all of that good stuff, which I will do. I'll probably do here in a moment, actually, believe it or not. We can also just quickly go to any ship in the fleet. Let's look at USS Anderson. DD-411, looking good, pretty dark, can't see much. We can also change the scale here and set up cap We can pull up the air plot. Of course, we can see the deck timeline. This will all make much more sense as we begin air operations. Of course, we cannot commence air operations until 0600. We can see all the squadrons here though, so VF2, and they all have their emblems here. We can see VF2 has 20 available pilots, and everything should be at full strength at the moment. VB2, this is a dive bombing squadron with Dauntlesses. They have 15 aircraft and 24 pilots, and all pilots are available, which is good. It is pretty cool just to see all of the emblems and such are in fact in the game. We go to Yorktown, we have VF42, and then VT5 here. That pretty much does it for the UI. We do have more buttons down here on the bottom. Things will make sense as we continue with operations. Let's go to the map, and one thing I want to do is see the wind. Looks like the wind is blowing to the southeast. We are going to begin air ops at 0600. Like I said, we are going to continue to sail south at 0400. We are going to change course. Let's add a waypoint here. At this waypoint, I do also want to increase speed to 28 knots. There we go. Bring this back a good amount. And then we will make a new waypoint. We just want to slowly start turning into the wind. And there we go, add a waypoint. So your carriers will automatically turn into the wind to begin flight operations. That being said, I already want to be sailing into the wind, ready to go at 0600, because at 0600, I am launching Dauntlesses to go and search for these enemy aircraft carriers. I want to find those carriers first. If we find them first, we can hopefully strike them first. That is my goal. So this may be cutting it a little close. I'll probably adjust this, but for our purposes, this works fine. I have multiple hours to mess with things. So let's start a search and create a new air search. Now we can just drag this around if we want, which is pretty darn nifty. This is from USS Yorktown. You know what? I want USS Lexington to send the first scouting aircraft out. Our patrol strength is going to be 4 aircraft. 4 aircraft, they are going to patrol at Angel 16. I'm also going to increase the step to 90 degrees. We're just going to search fan out way up here. Now, they are searching a radius of 595 kilometers. That is way too far. We know they aren't going to be that far to the north. If they are, I will be shocked. Let's bring it into something more reasonable, 380 kilometers. That seems like a good deal. Their desired takeoff is going to be 0601. Accept. There we go. And that search is in the queue. We can see we are turning here, and these aircraft will be taking off at this point in our course, which is good. I'm hoping that gives us enough time to complete our turn. We can measure the distance. How far is it from here to here? Looks like 8 nautical miles. So it's a little tight. We may try to adjust this a little bit more as we continue on, but close enough. It should be fine for the time being. We can also show all other sorts of things. One thing I do like to show is we want to show contact history. We can see the weather. What's the weather going to be like down here? Pretty clear for our air operations. Looks like the Japanese have some clouds in the area that could make it difficult for us to spot them if they do happen to sail east or something. Again, we don't know exactly where they are, so they could be anywhere over there. Of course, the weather is going to change as well. We can see our radar range, which I like to keep enabled, and also anti-aircraft range and main battery range in case we get into some surface combat. Now, if we go over to our missions, we should be able to go to USS Lexington, and there we go, search. They're preparing sector search. They will be ready at 6:01, and they are taking off at 6:01. They will be on target at 7:12 and return at 8:23. Fantastic. 4 aircraft heading out that way. Total sorties for the day is just 4. That is going to ramp up. I am sure of it. We can also go down here and see the timeline. If we switch to a 24-hour scale, we can see all of our air operations that we have planned. So they will be taking off and going out there and then returning back home. Let's go over and set up some cap fleet defense. So create new combat air patrol. We know the Japanese carriers are going to be somewhere to the northeast, so I want to create a cap zone up in that direction. Just a couple of fighters to kind of scan and maybe provide some early warning if they manage to find something. I want them operating at Angels 15. They will take off from Yorktown. 2 fighters are going to go do that. Also, when we launch these fighters, they will be up in the air, and we'll have 2 Wildcats up and around to intercept any snoopers which may be trying to conduct reconnaissance on us. Okay, and that looks good enough for me, except that. And now we have cap area number 1 to the northeast of the task force's position. And that's enough setup for the time being. There is time compression in the game, which we are absolutely going to use. And really, we just play the waiting game until the morning. It is 5 till 6. USS Lexington is beginning to spot, shuffling around all the aircraft on the deck, and prepping to launch her Dauntlesses. As USS Lexington is beginning to spot her aircraft, we can go to the Ouija board and see the aircraft in real time are being moved back. These are the 4 aircraft we are launching to conduct reconnaissance. These 4 SBDs, they don't have any crew, but they are now mission ready and ready to go. The crew will come out here soon. Let's take a look at the deck timeline. And it looks like we are launching at 6:02 now. And we have a message in the top right. Task Force 17 is heading into the wind to commence air operations. Fantastic. Now, like I said, I did not have to turn into the wind with my course. I was just doing a little bit of planning. And you can see we're kind of off course already. Let's see the wind direction here. Yeah, definitely adjusted a little bit. One thing I also want to show off is this view is pretty cool. This little tactical view where we can see all of the ships in our task force displayed as small little models. This will certainly come in handy whenever we want to select things on the fly. But let's go back to USS Lexington and see how are things going. Still working on spotting. We have 5 more minutes to go or so. I should also mention that USS Yorktown is spotting her aircraft as well, getting ready to launch the cap. The first Dauntless is away. All of our aircraft are airborne. Task Force 17 has ceased air operations and is presuming its original course. Let's go to the map and look at what we're working with. We can see our aircraft are already heading out. This is 2 aircraft out there, and these should be our scouts. Let's see. Yep, our scouts are panning out. We can see their updated positions here, or where they should be. They do get shot down. We may not know about it. So this is their predicted course, assuming everything goes to plan. My reconnaissance aircraft are airborne and are heading out. Let's see their projected position. At the moment, Hamilton, they are currently right about here. What I am going to do now is set up my strikes. Let's do this. we are going to preemptively set up our strike so our aircraft will be on the deck and ready to go. Whenever we get the report that the enemy aircraft carriers have been spotted, we will turn into the wind and launch. Now, this is risky. If we need to scramble aircraft, it could prove problematic, but it is a risk I am willing to take. I want to strike the enemy hard, and I want to strike them first. So, our main escort is going to be 6 Wildcats. Oh, do we want... Yeah, 6 Wildcats. 14 dive bombers from VB5. From VS5, we are going to do another 14 dive bombers. Torpedo bombers will be 9. And you know what? Let's drop this down to 10 each. 10 each. Early spotting. So I will give the order to take off here whenever I want them airborne. We are going normal departure. Offensive power is primary. Best possible date is 6:45, 25 minutes from now for all these aircraft. Let's greenlight that operation for USS Yorktown. Now we are going to do a new strike with USS Lexington. And they will be targeting somewhere out here. Early spotting. Selected that. We are going to have 4, 6, 8 Wildcat. Do I want more Wildcats? No, 8 Wildcats. 10 Dauntlesses. 20 Dauntlesses. And then 12 Torpedo Bombers. Okay, best possible date, 6:41. Early spotting, good. Bring up this panel, green light that. Now, both carriers will begin spotting, getting all of those aircraft armed and ready to go at a moment's notice. Let's bring up the UI. We can actually go to the Ouija board and see all of the aircraft that are going to be in the strike are now in blue. Blue means they are under prep. When they turn green, they are ready. This is for Yorktown. Let's take a look at Lexington. They are spotting. It looks like Wildcats are being wheeled up. Lexington is going to take a little longer because of she only has 2 elevators. So that's why I do want to do the early prep, and I will give them the takeoff order at the same time. So our strike packages arrive at the same time. So it looks like some of these aircraft are already mission ready. Some of these Dauntlesses on Lexington are already mission ready. No aircraft on Yorktown are mission ready. But if we go over to Lexington, over here we can see some of the aircraft should have bombs. Oh, they should. Kind of hard to make out. The deck is so crammed. Ah, there's one. One of them has bombs. Right there. There we go. One's loaded up with bombs. The crews are working, arming all the aircraft, getting them all ready to rock and roll. Let's take a look at the map. What's the position of our reconnaissance aircraft? We have not picked up any Japanese reconnaissance aircraft. This is our cap way out here. Recon aircraft are getting pretty close to their position, probably 15 minutes out until we make contact, hopefully. Okay, we got them. We got the Japanese task force. Far different position than I anticipated. 4 ships up here, 2 large. What time is it? 6:46. We are not ready to launch. If anything, they'll probably turn north. Good news is, let's go to air contact. Is this Hamilton? It sure is Hamilton. Let's see Hamilton. What do you see out there? He's made contact with something. Ah, there they are, way out there. Thankfully, it's not super duper cloudy. We made contact first, which is great, thank goodness. Now, they could have cap up. Hamilton may be shot down here. How long? 6:46. Lexington should be spotted and ready to go. Let's take a look at her. She is not completely spotted. A lot of these aircraft are still being wheeled onto the deck. Let's check the Ouija board. Yeah, it looks like 2, 4, 5 Devastators are still in the hangar. They are mission ready. They just need to be brought up on Lexington. Let's take a look at Yorktown. Yorktown still has a good amount of aircraft as well. Okay. We will wait for them to finish that. Let's bring this up. Pick a target. Target is going to be Target is going to be way up here. That's our new target. That contact. Okay. Pretty far, but well within range. That's good. Let's check on our other strike here for Lexington. Missions. Naval strike. Edit the mission. Target them. Okay. Time on target 7:40. Pretty much 1 hour from now. Takeoff should start pretty much right about now. They're running a little bit behind, but that's okay. We got them first. 1 carrier. This is definitely our task force. We are maintaining contact with them. Let's take a look at our scout, Hamilton. Hopefully he hasn't been spotted yet. Just cruising over here. Just doing a little spying. I guarantee you he's been spotted. There's no way he hasn't. I'm sure the Japanese have cap up of their own. And really, it's only a matter of time before Japanese scouts detect our task force. The good news is, we'll be launching first. Only 1 more aircraft is in the hangar on USS Lexington. Let's check Yorktown. Yorktown's running a little bit behind. They should be pretty quick with it here, which is good. Are they maintaining this course? Still have contact on them. 8 ships, 1 carrier, 2 heavy cruisers, 3 destroyers. Yeah, this is definitely, and they even identified it. Yeah, carrier task force. Now, hypothetically, Hamilton here, our guy that is spying on them, very well could be wrong and could be misidentifying stuff, but I don't think he is. I think he has a pretty good idea that this definitely is a aircraft carrier. He's not being shot at. He hasn't ditched yet, as far as I know. Not being pursued, which is good. That's what I like to see. Okay, Yorktown. Bringing up Devastators. So, with how we have it set up, the Devastators will launch first, and then the Dauntlesses, and finally the Wildcat. So it'll go slowest aircraft to fastest. All of Lexington's aircraft are up on the deck. You know what? We are going to launch them. Edit mission. Make sure they have this contact 008 selected. And take off. Okay. The aircraft on Lexington are going to get airborne now. Let's go take a look at her. Can already hear all of the aircraft engines have started up on Lexington. Gosh, what a beautiful sight this is. How freaking cool is that? Seeing all the aircraft just crammed on the flight deck, ready to go. And it looks like one of our Devastators will be taking off first. Off she goes. The first aircraft is away. The Devastators are definitely struggling to get airborne here at the very end with the very limited deck space they are working with, but they are managing. Let's look at Yorktown. How's it going? Elevator still in action, bringing up the last Devastator's bogey 20 miles out. All right. Good chance the Japanese have found us. This cap is in a perfect position to actually intercept that. I will say, I was not expecting the Japanese carrier task force to be way up here to the north. That is unexpected. Hopefully this cap will move to intercept. Let's take a look here. Cap. Yep, engaging target. Fenton and Brassfield are moving to pursue. Fantastic. Let's take a look at the Ouija board. The last aircraft for Lexington is up on the flight deck, waiting for takeoff. Okay, missions, let's go. Naval Strike 06, 40 aircraft in total, ready for takeoff. Let's edit the mission. We should be able to edit this. That's Lexington, I'm sorry. Yorktown, 36 aircraft. Edit the mission, here we go. They should be ready to take off. Lexington, Yorktown, I'm sorry. Nope, one more aircraft still needs to be wheeled up. I misread it. I should read at what I'm looking at, shouldn't I? Okay, well, regardless, our own aircraft are moving to engage this one snooper. There's a good chance they do see our task force. So, I mean, maybe we can shoot them down before they send off the radio report. I'm not holding my breath for that. Once we launch our strikes, I am going to launch more cap. Okay, Japanese carrier bomber has been spotted, so it is indeed hostile. Not surprising. Who else would be way out here? They are flying right into our cap zone. Come on, Fenton. Where is this? Where is this Japanese carrier bomber? No eyes on it just yet. General quarters on USS Yorktown has been sounded. Okay, they are searching for the target and now engaging the target. There it is. Found it. Low. That is a Kate. Beautiful looking aircraft. Too bad we are going to hopefully tear at the ribbons here. And the lighting in this game just looks amazing. Just the reflections on the fuselage of our Wildcat. Looks great. 50 cals. Tried for a deflection shot. And there's our task force. You think they found us? I think they absolutely have. No doubt about it. Okay. Let's go back to the fleet. USS Yorktown. It is time to launch. Whoa, what the? What in God's name? Tracer fire just landed nearby. That's crazy. Go to... Everything's up. Good. Naval strike. Edit the mission. Take off now. Take off now. All right, let's go get them. Everyone has started their engines. There is no startup sequence just yet in the demo. That being said, they are working on it, and that will be a thing. USS Lexington and USS Yorktown are launching their strike package. A total of what? Just about 80 aircraft are heading towards this Japanese carrier task force. They are in for one heck of a time. Fenton and Brassfield are continuing to engage the Kate. Looks like the Kate is leaking fuel at this point. Flying underneath, that rear gunner is out for blood, though. You can see the roundels on our Wildcats are kind of overlapping. At this point in time, the standards for the roundels on the naval aircraft were changing so rapidly that they just painted over the old ones, like so. A little fun fact that I learned playing this demo because I was curious about it. Now, let's see. There's the Kate way down low. I'm not sure it's going down. Brassfield's engaging. Fenton. Does he see the target? We just got to distract the radio operator long enough so he doesn't shoot off a radio message. The lone Kate is down low, right off the nose of flight lead here. Slowly dropping down. Hopefully he just rips them apart here. The Kate was leaking fuel for a little bit. It looks like the fuel leak has ceased. And the pilot is braking once again. Come on. There we go. That rear gunner is putting in extra work, scaring off Fenton and Brassfield. Come on. Kick the Wildcat around. There we go. Almost got some hits there. Lined up nicely. Oop, more hits. Well, they are continuing to mess with that. Caps in queue. Cap 102. Fenton. How's it going up here? Getting shot at. Yeah, they absolutely know we're here. Let's take a look at Lexington and Yorktown. Still launching their aircraft. Lexington is now in the process of launching her Dauntlesses, and I think Yorktown's probably still launching Devastators. Our Wildcats finally managed to actually shoot down that Kate, and right as it was shot down, we have a new radar contact. Another bogey has been sighted. I think these guys are moving to engage. Splash, the Kate just went in. Good, let's take a look at the map. What are we looking at? Yep, another one over here, one aircraft. That's an interesting place for it to be. Oh no, this is the one we see. Way over this way. Looking at this, com/intel, according to a message we intercepted, Task Force 17 has been detected by enemy air search asset. Not surprising whatsoever. I would anticipate this carrier strike group to turn into the wind. This is 6 minutes old now. Let's see the air contacts here. Let's look at our search aircraft. It is possible, hopefully, Hamilton, oh no, he ditched. He was shot down way up here to the north by the carrier group. Oh, hopefully our strike group actually finds the enemy task force here. They're all working on getting airborne. How much more do we have left to launch? Yorktown has a good amount of aircraft, some more Dauntlesses, and then the CAP, or the escort. Lexington is just launching her Wildcats now. So that is very good news indeed. Once these aircraft are launched, we will get ready and launch more Wildcats to help intercept the enemy strike that is inevitably coming our way. But I wanted to have a pretty strong escort heading over with all of our strike aircraft. We'll see what the Japanese end up sending our way. They are absolutely turning into the wind as we speak. I have no doubt about it. Way up here. And it looks like there's a good amount of clouds. It's not too bad, though. At least they're not over here. If they were in here, there's a good chance our strike may fly right on by and completely miss them. If we were really unlucky. What are these guys doing? Searching for target. Okay, and they're searching for aircraft over there. Good to know. Once we are done with air ops, I want to turn south. Strike package from Lexington's airborne and underway. Okay, everyone from Lexington has taken off. I want to turn south over this way, southwest. Let's increase speed to 20 knots just to kind of move around a little bit, hopefully shake them. This is 8 minutes old now. It's going to be a while before our strike package arrives on station. Hopefully they don't move around that much. The last strike aircraft from USS Lexington and USS Yorktown is away. Both aircraft carriers have completed air ops for the time being. They are going to turn, and we are going to wait to scramble until we know the Japanese are heading this way. That way my aircraft will have more fuel, and hopefully we'll have more time to shoot down as many of the Japanese bombers as possible. Let's take a look at our strike. They're all heading up north, still pretty far away from the enemy at this point. Let's measure distance here. What, about 90 nautical miles out. Okay, very interesting. We lost contact on this one bogey way over to the west. We shot one down, so there's another Kate out here that we need to be worried about. Hopefully they don't see us. We're right underneath this big storm system. That may prove to be an advantage for us. Our entire strike is formed up, heading towards the target area. These are the Wildcats that are escorting the formation, but if we go over here, we can see Section, Powers in the lead, just a pair of them. Gosh, what a beautiful aircraft. I love the Dauntless so much. One of my favorite aircraft to fly around in Pacific Fighters. Let's take a look at the rest of them. I want to see. There are times where all the aircraft are just grouped up together like this. You have just all of these bombers in formation. And it is just impressive to see all of these aircraft on screen at one time. I mean, just look at all those torpedo bombers up there, and I'm sure the Japanese are launching aircraft as we speak. There are definitely over 100 aircraft in the air at the moment, which is just amazing, frankly. And it's pretty well optimized, I must say. Alrighty, folks, we just got a report. Many bogeys. Vector 10, 80 miles, Angels medium. Fenton and Brassfield are moving to engage target. Let's take a look at the map here. What are we working with? Yep, coming straight down. This is definitely 10 aircraft. We picked them up on USS Morris on radar, actually, which is impressive. Good job, the crew of Morris. Do we change course and run, or do we launch more cap? We launch more cap. I think that is the best play here. Let's take a look at what we have in reserves here. So there's nothing on the deck of USS Lexington. Let's see the aircraft roster. We have a whole slew of Wildcats on Lexington. Scramble them. There we go. So all of these aircraft, all of these Wildcats are being prepped to be scrambled. Let's see what we have on Yorktown. Another good amount of Wildcats here as well. 4 Wildcats. Let's make sure we have it selected, and we are going to press scramble down here. These 4 Wildcats will be prepped and will take off here to help defend the fleet. Okay, that's good. We are probably going to turn back into the wind here soon. Yep, heading into the wind to commence air operations. Fantastic. All right, let's get those aircraft airborne, and we'll have them pursue. Our 2 strike packages are going to fly right past each other. Just wave out the window as we fly on by. Maybe our cap will actually engage. I'm curious. Let's look at the escort. The escort here. If they do see them, I think they will engage. If that's the case, we are going to tear them up. I would not mind if our escort here goes after the enemy strike package. But we are going to fly pretty darn close to one another. Let's look at the map. What, just a couple of nautical miles, it would seem. Let's measure distance between the two of us. Yeah, we're passing within probably 4 nautical miles from one another. Oh, brother. Well, the good news is, since we're picking this up and they're heading straight south, we are on track to intercept the enemy carrier task force. This update is really old now, 30 minutes old, and a lot can happen in 30 minutes. Doesn't look too cloudy up there, though, which is good, and the clouds are around us, so it is possible that the Japanese strike group will miss us. I hope they don't, because that's less content, frankly. And watching our ships evade is really freaking cool in this game. Okay. Radar contact 83 nautical miles out. Only 10 aircraft at the moment. I'm sure there are more than that. Let's take a look. Fenton here is moving to engage. Got it. This strike here. This is probably our rear strike. Our first strike. Escort way up here in front. Oh, look at that. That is cool. They're directly above the Dauntlesses. All of these Wildcats. There are even more aircraft way back there. Like I said, just seeing all of this stuff on screen. And even more bombers up front. This is one big strike package. It is definitely a gamble launching all of your aircraft at one time. If this doesn't pay off, it is going to hurt. But I do think it will pay off in this scenario. I wouldn't have launched a massive strike package if we didn't know that the Japanese carriers were right here the previous night. So if we were playing like a couple days before, I'd probably launch smaller packages. The reason for that is, of course, if we launch all of our aircraft and they just flat out miss the target, they don't find them, then that is a wasted strike. Also, they could find something like the Japanese did the previous day, like a tanker and a destroyer, and expend a whole bunch of bombs on those targets, which in the grand scheme of things are insignificant. The carriers are the primary targets. Let's look at this. We should be passing pretty freaking close to our Japanese counterparts. Do we see them out there? Not seeing them. They're going to be off to the left somewhere. Yeah, I got nothing. It'd be awesome if we actually spotted them as we flew right on by. Not seeing any wakes or anything out there either just yet, but we are getting close to the target. Let's take a look at the flight deck. Okay, aircraft are being brought up on Lexington. Yorktown aircraft are not being brought up. Excuse me. Yorktown, scramble. Not sure why she is not doing this. Are these aircraft? Oh, these are Dauntlesses. That's why. What is wrong with me? Okay, all of our Wildcats on Yorktown have been launched, so we are just doing Lexington. I misread that. I didn't look at the icons too closely, unless... Many bogeys. Let's look. Let's look. 2 aircraft already airborne. Scramble. Okay, no. These fighters these are off of Yorktown. They're already airborne. Okay, good. I was about to say, I could have sworn I launched aircraft off of Yorktown, but maybe I was delusional. Okay, they are moving to engage the target. Our escort is escorting. Okay, they're not engaging the target. Let's take a look at the map. They just reported more bogeys inbound. Yeah, big ol' strike coming down to the south. Good to know. Our strike, though, is getting pretty close. Oh, boy, this is exciting. This is exciting, and it's also great that we can maintain radar contact with all of our aircraft. That is very helpful. Okay, let's see. Let's look at the Ouija board for Lexington. 2 more aircraft need to be brought up. That's fine. Look at the map. Now let's look at our strike package. They are pretty freaking close. Pretty close. Naval strike. En route. Ugh, we picked up the Japanese strike pretty far out, 83 nautical miles still, so that is beneficial for us. We've just received a report. Enemy raids inbound. Also, Red Leader is moving for a firing pass. Fenton and Brassfield. Oh my gosh. Fenton has been torn up. Oh, because he has 2 zeros on his 6 o'clock. But he is... Oof. That's not good. That's not good. He found the Japanese strike. At least there's that. Got a brief look at all of those valves. Those are going to hurt if they get too close. Look at that. That's the Japanese strike way out there. That's a lot of aircraft. And Fenton's fuselage is just getting torn to pieces. These zeros are ripping us up, unfortunately. Lots of hits there. Where is Brassfield? Brassfield's in the water. Okay. And there we go. Fenton was shot down. 4 zeros overhead. 4 zeros overhead. Yeah. What's this? Scouts report a new identified surface force. What the? Hopefully it's the same ones. Okay, it's them. Good. That's gotta be them. They're only reporting 1 ship. It's possible they could have split up or something. Dive bombers are now searching for the target. More of our aircraft in the lead way out there. Many bogeys, pretty close, 50 miles out. Let's go to Lady Lex. She is launching her Wildcats. The last Wildcat is away. Now here's the question. Do we stay sailing this direction or do we just turn? I think we turn. Let's get rid of this waypoint. Remove that waypoint, this one. Make my speed 28 knots. Perfect. 28 knots. And let's try to just sail. Actually, let's head east for the time being. Yeah, visual. These guys have visual. A SBD has made contact. 1 small, 1 large. Task Force 17 has ceased air ops. Good. These Wildcats are moving to intercept that large strike package heading our way. Now, our strike package... I keep doing that. Measure the distance here. They are, what, 20 nautical miles out from the enemy task force. A lot of our cap has been destroyed. These dive bombers, these are all reconnaissance aircraft. Let's start collapsing some of this. Torpedo bombers here. Searching for the target. Kind of cloudy. Our cap is now engaging the enemy strike package. Let's take a look at them. Oh no, they were shot down. These guys, Leonard and Adams, are moving to engage. They have, well, these zeros. This cap is ripping us up. Hopefully some of these Wildcats are able to get some kills here on some of these Vals and Kates. I love deliveries on these Vals. We have more Wildcats airborne moving to engage. Oh man, it looks like some of them probably have been shot down. I'm not sure how many Japanese aircraft we've shot down at the moment, but that is a lot still heading our way. Let's take a look at these guys, dive bombers en route. Uh-oh, zeros. The enemy cap has arrived. Fantastic. Our Wildcats are engaging the Japanese zeros. Let's take a look at the tactical map. We are en route. There is the Japanese carrier task force over there. We are getting close. We are getting close indeed. Hopefully our rear gunners can defend themselves. Let's take a look at our torpedo bombers. Up here, looks like they were just being targeted by some zeros. Everything's looking okay around here. The good news is we have a lot of aircraft heading towards this Japanese task force, and that in turn means a lot of rear gunners. That's a lot of 30 cal coming your way. Now hopefully we'll take out a few of these zeros. It looks like I'm counting probably 6 or so zeros that are just harassing our strike. These are the leading Dauntlesses. Seems like they're climbing up, gaining altitude. No sight of the Japanese carriers just yet, but we should be hitting them soon. Look, rear guns are engaging. Come on, get them. There we go. Hits on the right wing. Another zero. Lots of zeros engaging these Dauntlesses here. Rear gunners are scary though, plus we have a good amount of Wildcats overhead. Look at that one. Real close. Is that guy? No. I thought he was missing an aileron there for a second. It does not look like he is. Come on. Get some hits on him. He's kind of out of arc for a lot of our Dauntlesses. Yeah, rear guns are kind of keeping them at bay for the time being, though. Any sign of the carriers? Nope. How far away is the... Oh, wait, what are we doing? We're turning. That's a good sign. That is a very good sign. Oh, gosh, we're being hit. Yep, zero. 6 o'clock high, closing in fast. Ooh, hit right in the engine. Probably not doing so hot now. Torpedo bombers are dropping down to the deck. The attack is beginning. Let's take a look at the map. What is the situation back here? Okay, the Japanese strike is still pretty far out. Our strike has turned in towards the Japanese carriers. And this is the real exciting part. It looks like launching all of our aircraft at one time has paid off. Now, as long as we get some hits, we are going to cause some serious damage. Let's take a look at the torpedo bombers. They are, it looks like these guys are en route. Torpedo bombers en route, dropping down below the clouds. I've already mentioned that I freaking love Devastators. Look at that. It is just so cool. I am in awe of how many aircraft we are seeing here dropping down onto the deck. Of course, this is the Mark 13's moment to shine, which is notoriously a pretty defective torpedo at this point in the war. We'll see, though. Maybe we'll get lucky with them. Enemy carrier task force in sight. They are sailing away, but they are right off the nose of our Devastators. Buchanan en route. Do you have eyes on them? No, not yet. Not yet. Let's take a look at our fighters down here. How are they doing? Oof, a lot of them are getting shot down. Pretty much all of our wildcats that were scrambled have been shot up. These guys are engaging the target, though. These zeros are just making mincemeat of us. They're all on the deck. Tangled up with the zeros. Look at how many wildcats are on that 1-0. You guys better shoot them down. And unfortunately, if we're down here, that means the Japanese bombers are up there. Is anyone up there engaging the bombers? No. The fighters are just doing flyboy things, messing around with the fighters. Well, hopefully we do more damage to the enemy than they do to us here. Let's look at our Devastators. Nice and low. I got a couple of Japanese heavy cruisers over there, and the 2 flat tops. The Japanese ships are starting to open fire with their anti-aircraft guns. Devastators are closing in on the enemy formation. Unfortunately for them, they are taking a good amount of flak here. They are closing in on, it looks like that heavy cruiser is what they are going for. They may turn in on one of the aircraft carriers, though. We have more Devastators way over there. Let's take a look. Dive bombers directly above the formation now. Yorktown is being targeted by torpedo aircraft. Is she firing? No, not yet. They're not in anti-aircraft range just yet. We are going to continue to follow our strike for the time being. And pretty much everything now is out of my hands. That's one of the really cool things about this game. So you plan your strike. You have a lot of work in the beginning, and then it's just whatever happens, happens. Let's take a look. On the deck, heading for that carrier. Come on. Don't let me down, Mark 13s. I'm not sure what that is on the far side. Those may be more Devastators. Going for that carrier. Torpedoes away. There we go. Torpedoes away. That's what I'm talking about. Sporadic anti-aircraft fire all around. Let's go over to the Dauntlesses. We have more Dauntlesses up in the front. Probably these guys. No, these are fighters. I don't care about the fighters right now. Torpedo bombers down here. They are leaving. Guess these are the Dauntlesses we are going to follow. Buchanan's back here, heading towards that flat top. Lined up nicely. It is just cool seeing all the anti-aircraft fire down there. Was something hit? Something went down off to our left. Japanese carrier is turning hard to port, trying to evade those torpedoes that were dropped on her. Don't see any wakes in the water or torpedoes. But she is putting out a lot of smoke trying to turn. Definitely turning pretty quickly here. Bombing target. Here we go. Anti-aircraft fire coming our way. Looks like they're engaging something down on the deck there at the moment. Our Dauntlesses are now pushing over. Air brakes are extended. Down we go. Oh gosh, look at that. All of these Dauntlesses. That's a lot of them. There's a 0 on our 6. Trying to follow us into the dive. Good luck with that, buddy. More Dauntlesses down low. About to drop. Get all the anti-aircraft fire coming up at us now. That is an intimidating sight. Bombs away. Splash right off the bow. There's no way you're getting out of this unscathed. If anything, it looks like some of those did hurt. Splashes all around the target. Big group of misses, it looks like. Splashes all around. We have more Dauntlesses inbound though. Let's take a look. Looks like something was dropped way over there. Let's take a look at our carrier friend. She is undamaged at the moment. These Dauntlesses are now moving in to bomb the target. Let's take a quick look at Yorktown and Lexington. Not under attack yet. Good. Good, good, good. Taking fire. What's behind us? Zeros. Great. Hopefully we get hits this time around. Pushing over. Air brakes extended. Doesn't look like our Devastators managed to get any hits. We still have more Dauntlesses coming in. This was just the first wave. Look at it. I keep saying look at it. I'm sure you're already looking at it. It's just pretty darn cool. More Dauntlesses off to the left. This looks like it might be good. Bombs away. Come on, guys. Bracketing her. Bombs away. Miss. There we go. Hits on target. Jeez. That does not look like a good time for that Japanese crew down here. Big ol' hole ripped in the deck. Large fire amidships. Minor fire has broken out, along with minor damage. All the anti-aircraft batteries are continuing to engage. We should have more Dauntlesses en route. Section 3. In formation, they're out of here. Section 4, out of here. So I believe strike number 6 is done. This strike still has their bombs. If we get a couple more hits on that damaged carrier over there, the one that's burning, we may manage to actually sink her. This one's just turning around in circles. Let's take a look. Undamaged. Just conducting evasive maneuvers. Do we have any torpedo bombers here? Dive bombers, torpedo bombers. Oh my gosh. Bombs are just falling from the sky. That looked close. Massive pillars of water going up off the bow.
Enemy bomber shot down.
Shot down a bomber. Okay, Phelps is engaging enemy aircraft. We are engaging the enemy strike. Yorktown is convincing evasive maneuvers. Let's take a look at Yorktown. Japanese aircraft off in the distance. Look at all that flak over there. We're engaging multiple contacts, closing in. Emitting evasive maneuvers. Phelps doing good. And I love the sound effects when the ships start conducting evasive maneuvers. En route. Come on, guys. You see them? Torpedo bombers in formation. You've dropped your torpedoes. Looks like I think all of our torpedo bombers have now dropped their torpedoes. We just have some dive bombers left. Lexington is evading torpedoes. Lexington. Take a look. Wow, those are close.
Enemy bomber down in flames.
Come on, shoot that bomber down. Is that one going in? Splash 2. There we go. 2 Kates have been shot down. We have more bombers off the bow. Flak is ripping them up. It looks like they may be heading for USS Yorktown here. Come on. Anti-aircraft guns are engaging. That they're dropping their torpedoes awfully close to us. May result in disaster for Yorktown. We're shooting them down though, which is good. Our anti-aircraft fire is quite effective, it seems.
Enemy bomber shot down.
We have more bombers off to the port side of the ship. Let's look at Cadwell here. Which carrier are you going for? I'd really like them to hammer the one that's already burning. But it looks like they are going for the uninjured one. I'm not sure where all the Japanese Zeros ran off to. Hopefully distracted by something else. Pushing over. Nice angle. Japanese evasive maneuvers have been rather erratic, making it hard to actually hit them. Here we go. Is this the lucky shot? Anti-aircraft fire starting to come up. I'm liking the look of this. And they drop so incredibly low. Bombs away. Come on. There we go. Hit amidships. Fantastic. Both flat tops have been hit. We have more bombs coming in, I think. More bombers. Look at that. Come on. One more hit. Splashes all around. Bracketing the target. There we go. Another hit. That does not look good. We can see the damage here. This is Shokaku. Damage, fires. The fires could very well spread, it looks like. More stuff's going on over here with Zuikaku. Bracketing the target once more. We have any more? More Dauntlesses diving down on Zuikaku. Come on, get her. Bombs away. There we go. More hits. She's nice and slow now, making it easy. Good job, boys. Any more? Holy cow. Heavy damage on her. Moderate damage. Fires are spreading. Okay, let's go to our fleet. Yorktown, how's it going? Commencing evasive maneuvers, continuing to evade. Turning hard to starboard. Anti-aircraft guns are firing like crazy. What are those? A bunch of Vals? I guess they've already released their bombs and missed. We have Vals heading in on Lady Lex over here. They're dropping. Off the bow. We have more way up there, though, closing in. It looks like Lexington's actually been hit by a couple of bombs. She does have some moderate damage. Glancing blows there. Any more? More 3 Vals way up high. Are they going for Lexington? Doesn't look like it. They may be going for Yorktown. Yep, pushing over on Yorktown over there. Hopefully she can shoot a couple of them down. It looks like our cap is still engaging way up there. They're actually doing a pretty good job, it would seem. Okay, Val's pushing over. Let's check on Yorktown. She is undamaged at the moment. Hopefully we can keep it that way. Anti-aircraft guns opening up. There they are. 3 Vals. Chicago Piano's opening fire. Bombs have been released. Here we go. Oof, close. Okay, another miss. Aft. And then, yeah, we were bracketed once again by those Val's bombs. We're engaging them as they pulled out. Let's take a look at our air contacts here. Everyone's leaving. We're out of here. Japanese carriers have been left in flames way, way out there. They're all just burning up. Looks like we have something up near the Japanese formation. Yorktown's been hit. Yorktown's been hit by a torpedo. Minor damage. Was she hit by 2 torpedoes or just 1? May have just been 1 torpedo, but that's not great. So both of our carriers have been hit and damaged. Let's look at Lexington's damage. Minor damage. That was a pretty ineffective strike, all things considered. I think our strike did a lot of damage. Well, folks, that is all for today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it. If you're interested in Task Force Admiral, be sure to check out the demo and also the Kickstarter that is now live. Also, stay tuned for part 2 of this video, where we recover our aircraft and conduct a second strike, hopefully, on the Japanese carrier task force. Anyway, folks, thank you all for watching. This is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I will see you all on the next one.